Hey guys, Ms. Riz here to help you out with the second day of the 5.5 guided notes. So today what we're going to do is look at composite functions. So the way composite functions work is suppose we have two functions f and g, and what happens is the range of g is the subset of the domain of f. And then the composite function f of g can be described as either f circle g of x or just f inside or f of g of x. Now, what that means is f of g of x is really, we have an x value that we plug into g and we get some answer. So we're going to take an x, plug in and get our answer. And then we're going to take that answer and plug that into f. So you can see here we have two functions. We have 3x plus 2, and then we have g, which is 2x squared plus 5. If I want to find g of f of 2, what that means, what I need to do first is to take 2 and plug it into f. So if I take 2 and plug it into f, I get 3x plus 2, and I'm going to replace the x with 2. So I get 3 times 2 plus 2. And let's see, that'd be 6 plus 2, that is 8. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that 8 and plug it into g. So here we go, g, which is 2x squared plus 5. I'm going to take the 8, plug it right in, whatever 2 times 8 squared plus 5 is, or 2 times 64 plus 5. That's 128 plus 5, so we'd get an answer of 133. So a lot of times these can get really crazy numbers, or sometimes they work out right. So that's pretty easy working with just numbers that we're plugging in values. If I'm trying to take an expression here, f of g of x, what we need to do here is to go through and take the equation and replace it. Now you'll have to be careful here. If we have f of g of x, that means we're going to take g and plug it into f. That means I'm going to take the whole expression, I'm going to replace the x with the whole expression here. So instead of putting a 3x plus 2, we're going to put a 2x squared plus 5 plus 2. So you can see here I took the g equation and plugged it into the f. So let's simplify this. In this problem here, we would have to distribute. So 3 times 2, that's 6 squared, and then plus 3 times 5 is 15. We still have our plus 2. So this equation here would simplify down to 6x squared plus 17. So it's not too bad. This whole section requires a lot of practice, though, to make sure you don't make any of these simple mistakes. So let's go ahead now, instead of just doing more and more here, let's take a look at some of them that are going to be on your homework. So let's clear all your drawings. Let's go through the day 2 CYU, day 2 or worksheet. Okay, so a lot of these problems here, they want you to find what's like f of 3 and what f of g of 3 and g of f of 3. So like in this first problem here, if you're going to plug in the number, we're going to plug 3 into g and then that answer into f. So I can go ahead first. I probably can do this in my head. If I plug 3, actually, you know what? Maybe we should write that as f of g of 3, because we got two answers here. Is really, we're going to take 3 and we're going to plug it into the g, which is squared. 3 squared is 9. So then we're going to take 9 and plug it into there. So whatever 3 times 9 minus 5 is. So that's 27 minus 5. Okay, so we got 22. Okay, this problem here, g of f of 3, means we're going to go first and plug in 3 into f. So whatever 3 times 3 minus 5 is, that's 9 minus 5, that's 4. And then plug that answer into the g, whatever 4 squared is, so 16. Okay. So going through these problems here, you can see, okay, next one, very similar, find f of g. Okay, now if we have a problem that's find f of 5, what that means is we're first going to take, split this up, f of 5. We're going to take 5, plug it into f, which would be negative 4 times 5 plus 2. So negative 20 plus 2 is negative 18. Then we're going to take that answer and plug that back into f. So whatever negative 4 times negative 18 is plus 2. Let's see, that's going to be a positive 36, 72 plus 2, 74. Alrighty. All right, even look at this crazy one here. All right, what is 2 of f of g of h? So we got to take 2, plug it into f. So what's negative 2 times 2 plus 1? All right, so that's negative 4 plus 1. That's negative 3. We're going to take that, plug it into g, the next one. What's the square root of negative 3 squared minus 5? That'd be 9 minus 5. That'd be the square root of 4, which is 2. And we're going to take that answer, plug that into h. What's 5 times 2? 10. Now, in this problem here, what's f of 4h times 3? You're going to take 3, plug it into h, times the answer by 4, and then plug that into f. So you can see we're just doing steps with a repeated process over and over again. Okay, next is finding combined functions. So just make sure that you're doing the right thing. So if I have, and we'll do problem 7 here. All right, fine. Actually, let's do a tougher one. Let's do problem 8. All right, f of g of x. So I'm going to take g. I'm not going to plug. I'm going to leave it as an x, but then I'm going to take that g. I'm going to plug it into f. So we got this problem here that we're going to plug into f. So instead of being x squared, it's going to be x minus 3 squared plus 7. So the one thing you really have to watch out for are squared terms, because if we are squaring this, we need to write it as x minus 3 times x minus 3 plus 7. So when we distribute, we get x squared minus 3x, and then we have another minus 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9 plus 7. So the first part here would become x squared minus 6x, and then add those together, plus 16. What's different here is if we got g of f of x, we're going to take f, we're going to take this answer here. Actually, let's change color here. We're going to take this one and plug it into the x. So that just becomes an x squared plus 7 minus 3. There's nothing to distribute here. All we can do is just combine the 7 and the minus 3, and that answer is easier. That's just x squared plus 4. Okay. So you can see you get 2 answers. Just be careful of the squares. When you plug something into it, you're going to have to write it out twice. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad there. All right, last problems here. This one is kind of working backwards. If they say h is f of g of x, we want to find g. So we're going to try to figure out if this is our answer here. H is like our answer. If our answer was this, what did we plug into x squared to get that? And you kind of just have to think a little deconstructively. We're going to break this down here. So really this is just 2x minus 5 plugged into the x squared. So that means g of x would have been 2x minus 5. Because if we take this, plug it into that, we would get that answer. Okay, so that wraps up 5.5. We got one more section to do after this. You guys have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one.